Are you struggling to know the difference between needs and wants in frugal living? In this video, I'm going to give you 9 tips that will help you know what is a need and what is a want. And stick around to the end because I have a bonus that you do not want to miss. Welcome. I'm Amy, and here at Frugal Over 50, I give you tips and tools for frugal living, all personally tested by me. Now let's get right to these 9 tips. These are 9 questions that you can ask yourself to identify whether something is a need or a want. And number 1 is, am I in immediate survival level need of food, water, clothing, or shelter? The World Health Organization and some other governmental agencies around the world have gotten together and identified that if you have those 4 needs met, you can survive another day. Food, water, clothing, shelter. Ask yourself, do I have those needs met? Will I live to see another day based on how I have those needs met? If your answer is no, then you need to take care of those things immediately in whatever way that you can. Now, everybody has a different situation. If you are watching this, you are unlikely to be one of the people who is in a situation where you're lacking food, lacking water, lacking clothing, and lacking shelter to such a degree that it threatens your physical survival. But if you do happen to be in that situation, or if you know somebody who is, I would urge you to immediately reach out for help from any agency that is in your community that can assist you. Most of us are not in that situation, and this question provides a level of perspective. Most of the things that we're talking about today in this video and that you are wrestling with in your own life and that I am wrestling with in my own life are not at that survival level. But use that as a question. Will this help me stay alive another day? And if the answer is yes, then that's a basic human need. If it's not, then you have to go and ask some of these other questions. So let's go on to number 2. All right, let's say that you have finished asking yourself that ultimate perspective shaping question. Is this the kind of thing that I need in order to keep me alive another day? And you have said, well, no, I'm going to be fine today and tomorrow and the next day. Then the next question is, am I tired? Am I stressed? Am I lonely? Is something going on? Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I need to take care of something before I am in a position to make a decision? Remember the thing that is taught to children. Halt. If you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, it's not a great state of mind in which to make a decision of any kind, especially not a purchasing decision. I'll give you an example from my own life. I have recently been feeling pretty stressed, as I am sure many of you have as well, and as many of us have around the world. And I have an elderly used car, which I am slowly working toward replacing with another used car, which is not quite so elderly. But just a few days ago, I started to get really impatient and feel like that I needed to just go down to a dealer and buy a dealer used car. Now, I don't do that. I don't buy from dealers. You know, if you have watched my videos for any length of time, and thank you, by the way, if you have, that I preach buy a used car, and I always buy used cars from private party with somebody looking at the mechanical stuff and the service record and the whole bit. But I got desperate and I started looking at dealer websites and even at new cars. Can you believe it? Me? Well, I tell you what was going on. I was stressed. I was probably thirsty. I probably needed to eat a snack. I needed to do a number of things, but I did not need to go on a dealer website to try to buy a new car, for heaven's sakes. All I needed was to take care of some food that I needed in the moment, not survival level, but I just needed to eat. I needed to have a little snack. I probably needed to have a nap, maybe watch a little Canadian murder mystery on TV, have a great time. And then put it off until the next day. Woke up the next day and was like, wow, that was a bad idea. Good thing I didn't follow through on that. If you are in a state of mind where something feels desperately urgent, pull back just a little bit and ask yourself, do I need a glass of water? Do I need a snack? Do I need a nap? What else do I need? Take care of making sure that your state of mind is okay for making decisions before you decide if it's a need or a want. Now, as you're having your snack and watching this video and deciding if something is a need or a want, I hope that you will decide that subscribing to this channel fits into that category of I need to do this. And also click the notification bell so that you'll get notified first of new videos. And if you like this kind of content, I hope you'll give this video a like. That helps me share my videos with more people. Thank you so much. Now let's get right back to it. Question number 3 that you want to ask yourself. Is this a habit that I could change? Sometimes we buy things and we're just on autopilot. And I think that that is something we should always be questioning. I have a classic example of this, and I've talked about it many times before. I was addicted to a particular national coffee chain for a very long time, and it became a habit. And when something becomes a habit, there's an element of ritual to it. You get in the car, you go and place your order. They know your name. They remember your order. Everybody's friendly. You're in the air conditioning or the heating, depending on where you are in the world at the time. You have a lovely first sip, and then the regret sets in. That's how it was for me, over and over and over, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Now, you may be able to go to coffee shops without any difficulty. Go for it. I am not that girl. I can go occasionally, but not any more than occasionally, because if I start going regularly, I won't stop. It becomes a habit almost immediately, just because of all of my years of history with it. And so now what I do is I make wonderful coffee at home, and I have changed the habit. I have a tiny little espresso machine. I call it the little espresso machine that could. One of the world's least expensive espresso machines, but it makes a good cup of coffee, and I fix it how I like it. And now my habit has become a ritual. And every day I make this coffee, and I love the ritual of it as much as I love the taste of it. And I can endlessly alter it. I decided I wanted a little pumpkin spice flavoring yesterday, so I put a little cinnamon in. It was so good. So you can change a habit. If you have a habit that is just bleeding you dry of ready cash that you could put into something else, then you can change your habit. And I'll tell you that in order to change a habit, you have to be willing to live with a little bit of discomfort for a little while. And you have to be willing to think, what am I going to replace this with? You can't just stop, because the ritual element is so important. What am I going to replace this with? And for a while, it's not going to feel great. But over time, you'll get a new habit, a new ritual, and it'll be wonderful. I recommend changing habits. Number 4. Am I shopping in order to deal with current or past pain or trauma or PTSD or any of these other things that we deal with in our lives? Not just right now during a global pandemic, but throughout our lives. I have often found that when past hurts come to the forefront of my brain, I want to go shopping. I get urgent to go to Target and see what they have. I want to buy little things. And it's not a sign that I need to go and buy things. It's a sign that past trauma has surfaced in the present. And that's a tough one to deal with. That's not one you can just change by changing your perspective or by having a snack or by changing your habits. Those things all help. But when you're dealing with hurt and trauma and pain, whether it's right now that you're going through something, and I really feel for you if you are, or if it's something from the past that's surfacing again, you really have to find a way to face it square on. This is where, if you have therapy in your background, or if you're currently going to therapy, you start using your therapy tools. This is where, if you're on a medication to help your brain work better, you start taking it again if you've stopped. Or you talk to your doctor about a new dosage or a new medication if you are in a situation where it's not working for you anymore. You pull out of your bag of tricks every single coping skill that you have so that you can get through the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next hour, the next few hours, the next day, 2 weeks. months, however long it takes to pull out of whatever you're in. And I would urge you, when you're in that state, and I have been there too, it happens to all of us. You don't get to be a woman over 50 without having experienced some pain and some trauma in your life. Regretfully, that is the case. And I recommend that you deal with it square on instead of by shopping. I am not a therapist, nor do I play one on TV or here on YouTube. But I am a friend through your screen, and I want you to know that there is help out there. And it's real substantive help that you can get from doctors, from therapists, from good friends who understand, from coping skills that you have learned throughout your life that really get you going back into productivity. And shopping is not the answer. You can find real help. Ask yourself, am I shopping because of pain? And if the answer is, yeah, I am, it hurts really bad right now, then take time and deal with that. You can do it. Number 5 is a little bit cheerier and possibly a little bit easier to deal with because it's very forward looking. We've looked back into our past in number 4, and now number 5 says, does this purchase that I want to make or that I feel like I need to make fit with my priorities? Does it fit with my priorities for my life? Does it fit with my priorities for my finances? I would encourage you to go back and look at my video on budgeting. I'll link it up here and down below in the description. And look at how to set up a budget so that it meets your priorities. And make sure that whenever you're making a purchase, you ask yourself, does this fit with my priorities, with what's important to me? It doesn't have to be important to anybody else. Is it important to you? Is it important to your life going forward? Does it help you go forward with your goals? Does it help you to live a richer life? And does it fit the budget that you have set according to your life priorities? It's an important question. It's a forward-looking question. And I hope that you enjoy asking yourself this question because you deserve to have good things now and also in the future. Number 6. Now let's say that you have determined that this is actually something you probably need to get. It's something that will help further your priorities. The next question you want to ask is, do I have something in my life already that I could use to meet that need? Do I have something that I could repurpose? Something that I could repair? Something that I could reinvigorate in some way? I, for instance, am looking for a new filing cabinet. And one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm going all over my house and looking at anything that I have that could be used to store paper files securely and safely and easily accessible. And I'm trying to decide, do I really need to go out and buy something? I'm pretty sure I've got something in my house that I can use to store those papers that need a new home. And you might have something in your house that you can repurpose, you can recycle, you can redecorate, you can move something from one room to another. It's entirely possible that you can get your needs met based on what you have in your house. Give it a try and see how it works. If you have done this, I would love to hear down below in the comments, what have you repurposed that really worked well for you? Share with the group. We can all learn something and maybe I'll figure out a better way to file my papers too. Number 7 is related to number 6. It's very close to it. Do I have another way that I could get this? So you're not necessarily asking yourself if you have it in your house already, but could you borrow it? Could you rent it temporarily if it's something that you won't need for a long time? Could you make it? Is it something that you could create? Could you barter for it? I've talked about this kind of thing in some of my previous videos about how to obtain things that we actually need without spending a ton of money. You folks in your comments on my previous videos have sung the praises of shopping at thrift stores and shopping at garage sales. And these are places where you are making a purchase, but you're making it at a significantly reduced price, and you're getting something that you need for a fraction of what you would pay new. And you can then use it exactly as you would the thing that you would have bought new. So think of another way to get what you need. Number 8, ask yourself, how long can I wait before I buy this? Make a game out of it. I've talked about this with you folks before, and in the comments, you folks have come back and said, oh my gosh, I never knew other people did that. So I'm making it official. We are a group of people that makes a game out of waiting to see how long we can wait before buying something. Now, I am not talking here about your next tube of toothpaste. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things where you could buy it now or you could wait till later. Can you resist the lure of the sale and of the amazing deal? Here's an example for you. I am on the endless hunt for better lighting for my videos, and I saw a deal just yesterday, and it was great, and it was like $20 for this set of lights, and I put it in my Amazon cart, and I was gonna get it. And then I started to read the reviews, and the reviews were, this is really only worth $20 because it breaks almost immediately. And I started to think, do I need to get that now? And I realized, no, I don't actually need to get that now. And so I started playing around again with my floor lamps, which is how you see me lighted today. And I'm asking myself, how long can I wait before I spend the big bucks on the professional lights? I don't know. I don't know yet, but it's a fun game, and you're going along with me as we do this with various kinds of lighting in my videos. And we'll see how long I can wait before I have to level up once again. It's going to happen because you folks are subscribing in record numbers, and so many people are watching the videos, and I'm so excited about it. So it's going to happen, but does it have to happen today? No. I'm going to make a game out of it. And wait, tell me in the comments, what are you making a game out of waiting on purchasing? I am so curious. Number 9, do I have the money for this, or can I save up for it, or is this going to put me in debt? This is a tough time in human history to be asking yourself that question. A lot of people who previously had really large emergency funds are depleting those and going into debt. And I'm not talking about that kind of circumstance. That's a circumstance that you don't really have any control over. We're in the middle of a global pandemic and the economic crisis that has come out of it. And so things are going to happen. And if you have to take on debt in order to keep going, see number 1 above about survival, then that's what you do. I'm not really talking about that extreme of a situation here. I'm talking about something where you know, like in my previous example, I know that at some point I'm going to buy professional lights for my studio. That's okay. I'm asking myself, how long can I wait? I don't know, but I'm making a game of it. Do I have the money right now? Well, I suppose I could, but I'd have to take it out of another fund that I have for something else. Do I want to do that? No. Do I want to save up for it? Yeah, maybe. Do you see? So ask yourself the question, do you have the money right now? Could you save up for it? Do you want to save up for it? Does it put you into debt that is not debt that's keeping you alive? Try to stay out of debt as much as you can. And if you're in the position of getting into debt because of extreme circumstances during this time, then know that you're not who I'm talking to. You keep doing what you need to in order to keep the days going forward, keep food coming into the house, and keep your children fed. But again, who I'm really talking to are those of us who just have to grab on a good deal right away, or we feel like we're losing out. Nah, not true. Or if we're worried that something is going to run out. Nah, it's probably not. Most of us are getting stocked up on basic household goods and pantry staples by now. It's not going to run out. We're going to be okay. Can you be okay waiting? Can you save up? Can you put it in your budget and wait a little bit longer? Or if you have it saved up, can you spend it now and be happy? These are all great questions to ask. And I have a bonus tip for you. And the bonus tip that I have is to tell you that right now you are okay. However you are, whatever is going on in your life, whatever these questions have churned up in your mind, you are okay. Some of the questions that I'm suggesting that we ask ourselves are really quite heavy. Some of them are very light and fun. And so there's going to be a lot of emotion involved in deciding, is this a need or is this a want? And I want you to know that you are okay. And I'd like to give you a little saying that you can use anytime you wonder if you are okay. The saying is, keep calm and frugal on. You can do it. I am so proud of you. Wherever you are on your frugal living journey, take the next step, whatever the next step is for you. And I'll say it again. I am so proud of you, and you are not alone. I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.